I grew up in a small town in Manitoba called Gillam. While up there, I had the option in school to learn Cree instead of French.
Ooh.
Anyone else speak any uncommon languages?
No.
No.
My grandfather speaks German and tried to teach me, and I only remember what swears sound like. But other than that, I got nothing for you.
I tried to teach myself Klingon.
Oh, yeah?
How did that go?
Not great, but I had conversational Klingon on cassette tape.
Nice.
And learned some things, like when you talk about like people, like a human person is Taraknan. They're from the Terran system.
Mm.
So you refer to them and like Klingon is like, you know, a Klingon, obviously. And they don't talk about all that, but then they like some things about numbers, and then there was like also a thing about, the only thing I can remember is Nuktakol Puchpa. That's a question. I can't remember what I'm asking. I can't remember what it is. I don't know if it's where's the toilet or where you keep the chocolate. I don't know if that's...
But
I mean,
Is it the same place though?
I hope not. Just
both of those are pretty important questions, really. So.
Two things I'd want to know.
the really important question, though, Beige, is did you experience Beige?
I didn't get to... The word beige never came up in that, which was really... I was kind of sad about, actually. It was taught by Michael Okuda and Michael Okuda and Michael Dorn.
Nice.
So you had Worf teaching you, and then you also had Michael Okuda, who I guess had worked on it.
I've got that same cassette.
Yeah, it's a good cassette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chat's saying that's Where's the Bathroom?
It is Where's the
There you
Bathroom. And there's this follow-up to that one called Power Klingon, and I'm like, I'm not going to get that cassette until I master conversational Klingon. I never got that cassette.
Yeah. Do they have bathrooms in space?
Well,
Yeah.
you got a duty somewhere.
Presumably.
There's one on the Enterprise.
What
There's got to be more than one.
what happens?
When you poop in space?
Yeah, like what? Where does it go?
They reclaim it for the replicators.
Oh, really?
In fuel.
Why wouldn't you, right?
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, just all matter. So,
And if you can reconstitute matter into whatever molecular combination you want, why not?
like, the ship never vacuums itself, right? Like, the ship is self-cleaning, but you never see a vacuum, and you never see, like, anybody wiping down the walls or anything. So somehow all of, like, the skin flakes and, like, oils from whatever, and, like what do you do with your sheets when you need them cleaned?
I
Yeah.
assume you just beam them away and get new ones.
Yes.
We'll just ignore the fact that you still do surgery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah,
and grow old.
I want to see the
Like-
TNG Roomba. You know?
I am given to understand that, like, laundry is basically you beam away your dirty clothes
Yeah,
and
can-
then replicate new ones.
There's
Is there-
something called the sonic shower, and they keep their sinks in drawers.
Yeah.
Somebody actually rendered the Enterprise D
Yeah.
in like this walkthrough, and there's a video you can find where you land in a shuttle, and there's lounges everywhere and bathrooms, and the bathrooms have 3 seashells. It's an in-joke,
Yeah.
hilarious. And one thing I really liked is that the shuttle bay has 2 intramural sports teams. I think one of them is called like the Starboard Sharks. And
I love it.
it's like, oh right, there's like 1,000 people on here who would get mega bored.
Yeah. You have families, which means
Yeah.
there's kids who need stuff to do.
Yeah.
And they makes it look like they make them study all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they have like 6 school facilities around the ship.
Yeah. Who has to hose down the holodeck? Right?
I have to imagine it's just a garden hose. You know, there's just one person, like when you're cleaning the zoo animal like area.
It's got like the thumb on the end
Yeah.
of it to make it like a better spray. Yeah.
Like everything on the holodeck is represented by, because like when you walk on the holodeck, what's actually happening is the computer's moving the ground underneath you, right? Like
Yeah,
they're rendering ground underneath you, and you just walk on that ground. Okay, so if that's how that works, because it can move you wherever you want, then that means that anything that falls onto that ground becomes the same matter that has also fallen onto that ground, and anything that like Riker leaves laying around is probably just going to get subsumed back into the stuff that's not a part of his body, because it's all part of like it's all based on transport technology as well. Holy crap! I'm on a huge derail.
That was good.
Yeah, it was good.
I learned a lot about TNG.
I'm really
I mean-
confused.
Partly, I assume that on board, like, just given the world that they've kind of created in TNG, you sort of assume that all of the holodeck programs are more or less chaste.
And then
But
you get
that's
the
why they're
holosuites on
extreme.
DS9.
Yeah, that's why they're extremely thirsty whenever they dock at DS9.
Except for that one that Jordy made.
Well, yeah, but even that was fairly
Yeah.
PG,
like
right?
the-
Like that one was
it
really
was creepy.
Yeah,
but yeah.
that one was
Well,
incredibly creepy.
Barclay. Remember when
Oh,
he
yeah.
made like that?
That was such a weird episode, though.
I am the goddess of empathy, right?
Yeah,
Like that
yeah.
whole thing. And it's like that's weird. No wonder everyone felt weird about that.
Yeah.
Well, that was like just like the first. I mean, I don't know. But from what I recall of my TNG knowledge, is that's kind of like the HR episode. where they basically get to be like, so listen, that's not okay.
Oh wow. Wow, I just had a thought disappear from my brain.
Oh no.
I watched it happen as it just like lost resolution and then vanished. Huh.
We mentioned Barclay. We mentioned the holosuites before that.
Hmm.
Everyone got extremely thirsty.
No, gone.
I am the
I call
goddess